They ain't ready. Maybe. They ain't ready. They are.
And we are two different twins. We back, y'all. What's up? I'm sorry, my producer said I couldn't do that, but I did it anyway. What's up, y'all? I am so happy to be back. You heard me. The twins took a hiatus. And we're back better than ever. You heard me. New topics, new guests. Talking about different shit to get y'all to thinking outside of y'all box. You know what I'm saying? So welcome back. Welcome back, y'all. We're so glad that y'all tuned in. You know what I'm saying? We have a good time with them as always, and always open for discussion, different dialogues and things like that. And different perspectives, you know what I'm saying? Different perspectives, different opinions, different ways of living. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, attempting to coexist. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure y'all know that we took a hiatus and we're going to get down to the bottom of it. You know what I'm saying? But I would just like to say thank y'all, all the messages we received. Like, when y'all coming back? When y'all coming back? When y'all coming back? I was like, damn, they really want to hear what the hell we got to say. You heard me? So we do have a guest today, Stacey Staten. Let me get this right. She is a licensed professional counselor. So today we're going to talk about why we took a break, also the importance of mental health. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Stacey. You heard me? Stacey!
Hey, what's good with you?
What's going on, boo? We so happy. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. I feel like Stacey really can add to this show. And I just want to tell you, Stacey, like, I know I didn't tell you this before, but watching your social media, like even from back in the day when I first met you, you always presented this positive type, funny type demeanor and attitude. You was always the same person when I met you. You know what I'm saying? And just to see that, you know, you are in tune, and we do need counseling, we do need therapy, you know, us as Black or African Americans, should I say, also in the LGBT community, you know what I'm saying? So you never know who's watching, you know what I'm saying? But that's one thing that I've always admired about you. You've been the same person. What's up, Robin? Thank you for tuning in. But so that's what I want to tell you, that I've always been, you know, in admiration. Is it? Admired about you. You know what I'm saying? So y'all say what's up to Stacey.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. I just try to be as genuine, as authentic as possible. Those are my 2 words.
All day. Be yourself, baby. That's one thing about me. What you see is what you get. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to fake the funk. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. That's how it should be. I mean, there's somebody for everybody, and I say that 100% of the time. So.
All day. But I just wonder why I'm still single.
Why are you that? Why?
I don't know, girl. I be like, goddamn, my child little. Let me stop. What you got in your cup, though? What you got in your cup? Hey, Facebook user.
Hold on, actually, tequila, you know what I'm saying?
You heard me? I told Stacey that my requirement is that she had to have something in her cup, okay? I need her to be on 10. Jessica says, hey, Stacey. Say, welcome, Stacey.
Hey, what's going on?
She said, "Can you put that cow?" Julia said, "Can you put that cowboy cup up though?" Baby, it's state territory over
I did
here.
it on purpose too. I said, "Oh, I'm doing
Let me tell you something. Don't come on here and start no shit, okay? Now with the same thing, just like y'all."
This is a part of the
All
mental
right,
health.
y'all.
To disagree and still be parallel at the same time. See what I'm saying?
I don't know if I can work with the Cowboys, boo. I don't know if I can do that. You heard me?
We don't play y'all this year, so see, that's the middle part of it. You know, we can root for, other teams beside each other. Get on each other's.
But Stacey, what can you add about the mental health aspect of why Black people need counseling and therapy and things like that, dealing with what's going on in the world today? Because it seems like a lot of people are going through some difficult seasons right now. So it's like, what do you think that should be added to the lifestyle of Blacks? Well, not only Blacks, but people in general. I think everybody is being some shit right now,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, I want to thank y'all. I think a big tool that we need to focus on as far as being Black in the African American community is that it is foreign to us. This is not something that was a derivative of our ancestors. I see us going through a lot of things where we want to be more spiritual. We want to be more in touch with who we are. And we're looking in other directions instead of saying to ourselves, you know what, we ain't never did this shit before. Nobody ever taught us about this. So now that we have the platform from, other people who are dealing with mental health illness that are professionals, I think now is the time. And understanding that mental health, it includes our emotional, your psychological, and your social well-being. This controls every aspect and every element of your life. If you take it seriously and you focus on the fact that those three things, emotional, psychological, and social elements, control how you move, your relationships, healthy eating choices, how you relate and handle stress. If you take those things seriously, then it won't be like, oh girl, I need to self-care. I need to get my hair and nails done. It's deeper than that. So
yeah, all day. And just to piggyback, so we just gonna break down why two different twins took a break. We took a hiatus, right? So of course everybody knew I broke my ankle. Actually broke 3 bones in my ankle, and we took a little break from that. So after that, y'all, a bitch was just starting to walk again, right? So I'm just starting to walk again, and we decide, let's go to Houston by my niece's house, right? So my ass decides to fall through a glass table. You know what I'm saying? And what I did was I cut through the shell of my bicep muscle. Also, they had to remove a vein. I had to have a blood transfusion. So that included like an emergency surgery. You know what I'm saying? So after that, of course, that kind of sent me into a spiral downward. You know what I'm saying? I'm wondering, like, I'm laying in the hospital being like, what is going on? I'm limping. I got my arm in a sling. Like, what the hell? Universe, source, what you doing in my life? You know what I'm saying? So as the holiday season approached or whatever, I noticed myself in darkness, shall I say. You know what I'm saying? It's like it started inch by inch as the negative thoughts. And then you seclude yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then you can't get out that darkness, and then you start having dark thoughts. Well, I don't want to be here anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where I was like, I have to do something about this, because I'm secluding myself from people who love me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to spread this low vibrational energy, and nor do I want them to experience me in that energy. You know what I'm saying? I have everybody around me who's happy, you know what I'm saying? But yet I am here in this dark spot and don't feel like I want to communicate that to people. So I put myself in therapy, you know what I'm saying? And that took a while, you know what I'm saying? It took a while to process, and the stuff that I learned during therapy is like, not only did it stem from all the narcotics I was on, You know what I'm saying? Because that shit depresses your system. I don't see how people want to pop hydrocodone, pop muscle relaxers. I don't see how people want to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what it stemmed from, but then it's like I couldn't get out that hole. So I put myself in therapy, you know what I'm saying? And that took some time, you know what I'm saying, to get back to my normal self, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like when I went through that period of time, a lot of people didn't see the warning signs. A lot of people didn't, notice that I was in a dark spot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people took it personally, like it was against them. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like, us explaining why we took a hiatus, I had to get my mental together so I could be me, because I can't come on this podcast and act like somebody that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like people pick up that energy. You know what I'm saying? So therapy really opened my eyes to a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't solve everything, but it gets to the root cause, because I realized that a lot of my, childhood shit, relationships, all that contributed to the shit I was going through mentally and emotionally, and I couldn't get out of it. So us taking a hiatus was for me to get back to me, and also to discuss like the importance of maintaining your mental health and taking the steps necessary to help with that. You know what I'm saying? Like therapy or meditating or praying or, focusing on yourself, you know what I'm saying? Or communicating that to the people that you love, that you are in a dark spot, So I feel like Stacey was a great addition to this show, to really discuss like the signs of, of people need help, or the signs of you do need therapy. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. Jay. What's up, Jay? So, just to piggyback off what you said, Stacey, like, what do you, as far as in your experience, what are the signs where you notice your loved one or even a friend, you know what I'm saying, where you notice there's a change in their behavior, or, they're in a depression, or something is like a chemical imbalance? As far as what my therapist said to me is, I was suffering with depression, you know what I'm saying, at that moment. Not that it's just an overall thing, but I feel like even like as I thought back, into how I handled things in the back, in the past, like I really was a functional depressed person. You know what I'm saying? Where it gets to the point where you get to a spot where you don't know how to come out of it. You know what I'm saying? So what are the signs, like, you will say, okay, now it's time for you to get some additional help?
Well, let me just say this: 1 in 5 people, adults in the U.S., experience mental health illness each year. So you hanging with 5 people, one of y'all is experiencing something. So let's be clear that, more than likely, let's normalize a group of people. There's going to be somebody who is what they call a functioning depressant. So you're not alone in that category. One of the first signs is, and it could go, from A to Z, but one of the big ones for me is that person is constantly not wanting to get out of bed, finding ways that, I guess I should get up because I got to pay my rent, I got to go to work. That's one of the big ones. You're just tired, you're fatigued, and you're like, I haven't done anything at all. Another one, which is a really big one, is I feel like more in women than it is in men, is that women will stop caring about their looks. They don't care about showering. They typically, you spray your perfume on, you put your lashes on, whatever it is you do, your routine, you're not doing those things anymore. For men, it's more or less them just, in my opinion, since I've seen certain men, I have more men clients than I do women, is they're automatically trying to self-medicate right off the bat. Finding some type of mechanism to make them feel better, because unfortunately, as a man, they feel like they're not allowed to let their, burdens down, things of that nature, top up. And then the third thing for me would be just finding ways to say, oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm good. Oh, I'll be okay. Instead of, and I'm sure we'll break this down a little bit further down the show, is recognizing, dang, okay, I'm not okay. What is it?
Yeah. It definitely takes willpower. You know what I'm saying? Like for anybody who's ever like experienced depression, like, and I'm saying this for people on the outside of it. You know what I'm saying? I just encourage people rather than taking it personally and like you acting funny, or you're not talking or taking it personally. Try saying, "Are you okay?" You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that person really don't want to say, no, I'm not, unless they're really ready for the help. You know what I'm saying? And I think, once I got to the point, hold up, Julia said, question for Stacey. As your family member is dealing with depression, how as a person do you handle it? What are some tips you can do to allow them to come out of their dark space? Do you give them their space?
Just I only give brief self-disclosure if I feel like it's, prudent or it's effective for somebody to get through something. But I have family members, a very close family member actually, that just hit me up last week about, hey, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm depressed. And that's the word I'm going to use because I feel that way. As a person who's going through that, as the professional, you allow them to come out of that space. And a lot of times, if someone does commit suicide, unfortunately, and you didn't reach out to them like you felt you should have, or you ignored it one day or two, we blame ourselves. But what you can do is be there for them in the same essence. You can text them affirmations that you feel like are in collusion, whatever it is that they're going through. So if they're going through feeling that we live in an influential nation. Oh, I gotta have this and that. God, you send them an affirmation that says, I am enough. Things of that nature. Try to relate in ways, because we have a big sign in the other studio that says, I'm not responsible for your feelings. So you can be there for that person, but give them the space. But you can provide those tools, such as those affirmations. Check on them in the morning. Hey, did you eat breakfast? If you're capable of giving it to them physically and financially, if they're struggling, hey, I sent you some money to your cash app for breakfast. Make sure you're eating. Just covering some barriers that you can control.
Right. With some things, and when a person is dealing with depression, sometimes they shut other people out. So Absolutely. The thing is, you don't want to tread on those kind of waters when they are shutting you out. So it's like, okay, if I try to be there, they're going to shut me out. If I try to send money, they're going to send it back. If they're, if you're trying to be there in some instances and they're still secluding themselves, in that aspect, it's nothing that you can do on your part, because this is what they're choosing to do. So the thing is, like, you can try to be present for someone who's dealing with depression, but it's up to them if they want to receive those things that you have for them. So if they do in the long run do some things that are kind of like you say, suicide or anything like that, you can't really blame yourself, because you've done all that you can do in that aspect, because everyone is dealing with something of some sort. Amen. So if you're trying to be present for somebody who doesn't want to be there, or want you to be present for them, or encourage somebody who does not want to receive your encouragement, it's just like falling on empty ground, like you sow a seed on empty ground. And I think that the mind, for me, and my belief in regards to the mental well-being of others, I know that the mind is the devil's workplace. Like, he wants to plant seeds in order for you to speak those things into your atmosphere, because first of all, your words are spirit. So whatever you speak, it has to be. That's the likeness that we have of God. So the thing is, in mental health, that's what the enemy is doing in these last days, is playing on people's emotions and causing circumstances to arise. And if you notice, a lot of people right now are going through some things that are challenging their faith right now. And it's going to be a lot of people that are going to be falling away, in regards to believing in God. I think, well, I know, because it's already written. But that's what I believe right now, what's going on with a lot of people on this earth, that they're dealing with demonic oppression and suppression and depression, and the only way out is the word.
I totally agree with you. just to, because it feels like, dang, why you shooting me out? I thought we was cool. Dang, why you? The other hand of that is, and I learned this just actually via Robin, my girlfriend. She will always give homeless people money, things of that nature. Oh, just give it to him, just give it to him, we got it. And I was like, why is she like this? I just had to talk with myself and said, look, if whatever I choose to do or she chooses to do, that's what she's doing out of the kindness of her heart. Whatever they do with the money is on them.
It's on them.
So I give my clients the tools to work their way through depression. I want it to be firm that we're not getting over depression. We're working through it, because this is for some people an everlasting task. We can't say, well, dang, she ain't over it yet. She got the house. It's not like that for some people.
It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that.
Yeah.
I feel like
empathetic to that situation. So
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just
it doesn't matter how much money you have.
Absolutely, you did.
It doesn't matter what you have. You can have a house, you can have relationships, a car, whatever. It is empty. It's all about internal happiness. You know what I'm saying? And I had watched Lauren Nipsey, producer. Can you hold that on screen for Alicia? But I had listened to Lauren's interview, and she was like, when she was going through, when Nipsey got killed, she didn't really want to hear. It was nothing you can say to make her feel better. Just come, if you want to come there or whatever, just hold space. Just be there. Just be. You know what I'm saying? That's enough. And I can attest to that, because I had people to call and like, you're not yourself. I'm coming knocking on your door. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just the thought of them like really caring, it made me want to. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really in a dark place, like tempted to slit my wrist and get in the tub. You know what I'm saying? Like in that dark place. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody called and just want to hold space for you and try to, encourage you, you know what I'm saying? That kind of makes you want to. So that's why I was like, my son would be, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me put myself in therapy. You know what I'm saying? So she really opened the doors to like you just really gotta work through this. And she gave me different ways to work through it. You know what I'm saying? But just to read a comment from Glenisha, she said, you just do your best to be there for whomever. But the ball is ultimately in their court. But affirmations, love, and encouragement can go a long way. You never know the capabilities you have in lifting someone up, so don't stop trying.
That's absolutely.
But I know being on, because I've had a particular friend, you know what I'm saying, where I took offense. You know what I'm saying? I was offended rather than trying to be understanding. You know what I'm saying? Of where this person probably was at mentally and emotionally, but I'm taking offense to, she don't want to be bothered. Or she not answering her phone. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that experience for me really opened my mind to like, she just not feeling herself, and I'm going to let her know that I love her and I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's not going to help at that moment, but at least she knows. You know what I'm saying? And this is my input. I had a whole thing I want to say. It kind of just slipped my mind, but the thing is, like, I think that people who are dealing with depression open themselves to certain people. It's like, you could be there in all kinds of ways for them, but if you're not that person that they want to receive that encouragement from, I mean, what else can you do? It's like you can try to be there as best as you can, but if they tend to open themselves to other people other than yourself when you're trying to be there, it's nothing that you can really do. But just let them look. I mean, I tried this and I tried that, and I've left the open door, but it's no more that I can do. I have to just allow them and just pray for them actually come about whatever they're coming out. But my thing is, we're all dealing with this. You know, and I think in these days, a lot of people are putting up a real good front on social media. And behind closed doors, they're dealing with a lot of stuff that you don't realize. And if you really sit down with people and hear their stories, and they have the discernment to open up to you, to tell you what they're dealing with, a lot of people are dealing with some things that they're being challenged with, and it's different. It's causing them to, like, God, like, where are you? You know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, in these days, a lot of people are putting up a good front, but when you get to talking to them, they're dealing with some stuff. Even I, myself, you know, and I thank God for my Lord and Savior, because that what has been sustaining me in this season. You know, and the thing, to tell you the truth, I have been having those thoughts of, like, God, you know, the enemy trying to put some thoughts like, is he even real? You know, all of these things that I have been doing, but at the same time, I have evidence that he is. You know, and the affirmations that I have, even though I'm standing from a place of not being hopeful, I still have to say those affirmations to form my world, because I have to still have faith in the seasons that are not so good, that don't look so lovely, you know. So, because what is faith? You know, you can't just have faith for the good times. You also have to have faith in those times when it's challenging and it's hard to believe, and that's what builds fruit, and that's what causes you to bear fruit in those seasons, because you're running to that season again, and you know that you was delivered before. Like April just said, you have to meet people where they are. And I feel like, you know, that's kind of like challenging for people who like are in ego. You know what I'm saying? And I say ego as far as like when I say they're taking offense. You know what I'm saying? Rather than stepping outside of themselves and kind of putting themselves in a scenario. I don't think it's ego. I just think that when you're trying to be there for a person, when you're trying to be there for someone who you know is dealing with something, you know you have some things that would really build them up and edify them, but yet they open themselves up to people who cannot edify them, it's like, I mean, it's falling on their ground. It's not really ego, but you can't, sometimes you do take offense to that. Sometimes you do take offense to that, because I mean, and everybody is sorry, they got a dang on net. I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Roberta said, in life, we might not even know that someone is depressed. How do you recognize the signs? There's so many signs that you can't tell. Let me tell you something. I've dealt with depression, and I could come around and be bubbly and joke around with you like it's nothing. I can sit there and functional depression right there and go right in my room and sit here and have these battles.
Yes. Just to kind of the words was like flying out of my mouth when April put, you have to meet people where they're at. I'm gonna tell you one thing, when I disagree, one of the biggest things that I kept hearing, you know, once you start studying something that you want it to be a profession, you focus on something very specific. It says it's always important to meet a person where they are. I heard that frequently. Every time I went to residencies, every time I was with a new professor, every time I start having a mentor, meeting someone where they're at. When you first start, you know, understanding one of your homies, a friend, someone of that sort is going through something, the first thing you think, well, dang, I tried to be there for him. Or dang, why they didn't tell me? Or dang, you know, all these dangs. Why they didn't say this? Why they didn't do that? They got the car, the house, the clothes. Oh, they got a husband. They got kids. It's not about that. Somebody could have neither of those things and they still feel depressed. I have clients where I have to, this is called transference. Whenever they say something, it's possibly something that I've gone through in my life, and I don't project my feelings off on them. It is the same light when your best friend, your sister, your cousin, someone that you're very close to is going through that. You're experiencing transference when you feel like, dang, why didn't they accept my help? You have to meet that person where they are. And that requires, first of all, they're being very vulnerable with you if they're even shedding a little bit of light that they feel indifferent. They don't feel like themselves. But not only are they being vulnerable with you, you have to take on that vulnerable coat and say, okay, I cannot find other ways as to why they didn't reach out sooner, why they didn't accept my gift, sent money back, whatever the case. Hey, I love you. Reach out if you need me. They may not the next day. Hey, sent you this. Like I said, don't block your blessing. We say that all the time, right? Don't block your
You heard
blessing.
me? You heard me?
Fix their problem. You do what you do and keep it moving, because again, I'm not responsible for your feelings. I can be there for you. I cannot wear your shoes. A lot of people, I'm one of those people who I try not to take, this saying fits, but it fits sometimes.
Yeah.
It fits so good. It's like, dang, you can't walk in my shoes, man. I'm trying to tell you, because I'm a forensic files. I watch Discovery ID. That's my shit. That's what I do. And I took some tactics from that show, and one of the biggest things that I noticed is that the saying of you don't wear my shoes, so you don't know what I'm going through. If a footprint is put down because someone has committed a crime and they step in blood, that shoe will now be unique, and they will only be able to find that exact matching shoe. That's what that means. You may be able to relate with someone who's going through depression. You may be able to empathize with them, and empathy and sympathy are two different things. But I'm saying that to say, be there, meet that person where they are, and don't take offense to what they're going through, because it's not your problem.
Yeah, and eventually you do go through that, because sometimes it is the first thing that some people run into, and you can't expect for the person on the other end to not take offense when they have not been in that situation before. So then, as you go through that situation, you learn I did all I can do it. I noticed how this person operates, so I can't take offense to it. I just have to move along, and do what I have to do for myself. Because first of all, you can be somebody that's trying to encourage that person that's dealing with depression, and you're also dealing with it for yourself. But you don't display the red flags like they think that you do, because there's so many different red flags that everybody have when dealing with depression. And these days, a lot of people are, and it's hiding behind jokes and a smiling face. They said, I lost my brother in 17 to suicide. He called me a day prior. Please listen to your people. Check on your people. It could be their last moment. Period. And and I only read that because, on the outside looking in for me, what I'm saying? I do know. I secluded myself. You know what I'm saying? I secluded myself. I know that when you're in a low vibrational state, you don't have access to better thoughts. You don't have access to hopeful thoughts. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I wish I could explain it. It's like it's a darkness. It's a darkness of feeling like there is no hope. You know what I'm saying? And why do I want to, I got all these people around me that have people, I'm buying Christmas gifts, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. But and at the same time, you don't realize they struggling doing it. It's neither here nor there. You heard me? But it's like because I am in this darkness and I don't see any hope. I don't feel any I don't feel in the mood. I don't feel, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, I was in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? So I got this person wanting me to be, not wanting me, but it's, wanting me to be a certain way, you know what I'm saying? Or it's having the expectation of me to be in this Christmas mood. And I'm forcing myself, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I just couldn't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it with my family. So I'm like, instead of me getting on the phone and they see, because I'm a happy-go-lucky, life of the party. But when I'm in a lower vibration, you see it. So I'm like, I don't want to spread this energy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tired of being this way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for the people that's looking in, I can understand how they can be frustrated. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here because my producer said, stop saying, you know what I'm saying? What me being on the inside is like, I want to try to educate people that, yes, I know that you tried. Yes, I know that you offered. but I was in a state where I couldn't. I didn't have access to, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Hey, I'm depressed. Hey, I'm gonna accept your help. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I just want to educate the outsiders who want to help, just hold space. You can send a quick text message. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, hope you're okay. Not, hey, I don't like you doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that puts that person. Huh?
I said it's like poking the bear, like.
Yeah, basically it's like, okay, now I feel even worse. You know what I'm saying? Like now, like you don't have the energy to even to defend yourself.
Leave that question.
Can you really change a person? Can you really change a person's about suicide? Can you really persuade a person to want to live if they don't want to live anymore? Nope, I don't think so. I feel like they gotta have some type of hope or want to. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, for me, it was the thought of how devastated my son would be. You know what I'm saying? If he lost his mama. You know what I'm saying? So that was the only thing for me. I was like, okay, bitch, it's time for therapy. You know what I'm saying? It's time for some help outside of people calling you and checking up on you, because it helps in a way, but it's not going to change that mental state. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What you think,
So
Twin?
what you think? Me? I was gonna say so. I was gonna say anything. My input for that, when a person is too far gone in regards to the thoughts, because look, I'm always return and revert back to my faith in regards to giving a foundation of why I think they think that way, and because me having thoughts as well. And some people only stay here because they do have family relying on them as well, and you will leave people hurt. Some people don't even give a fuck. They be like, I just want to be gone. I'm tired of these thoughts. I'm tired of feeling this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's end this shit. But you know what I'm saying? People over here, some people will commit suicide. Some people will live through it and see the sun on the other side. Because there is always a tide that's turning for the better. But the rain falls on the just and the unjust. And the thing is, like, most things are always for our good, and we don't realize that when we're going through the storm and the rain, but the rain only comes to make things grow. But motherfucker get tired of that motherfucking rain. I tell you that shit. I know I'm gonna be like, fuck this. I gotta be better somewhere else. I know anybody right now,
Okay,
I'm tired. I have plants in my house. It's like
I get it.
I'm trying to embarrass her. I'm at the bottom of that motherfucker. But I just think, like, the enemy. And let me tell you from my perspective what I have been dealing with in this season, because I know it's only a season. And the thing is, and waking up day and day, like it seems like my life is just passing by. I got that mofo. It seems like, it's like, you're just waking up day by day and your life is just passing by because you're hoping for a better day. Mm-hmm. And it's like you're dealing with these thoughts that you have. And the word says to think on those things that are good and lovely and a good report. So it's like it's a training of your mind, because when you wake up, the enemy does not take a break. The same problem that persisted in yesterday, he's gonna wake you up with that same problem in today. So it's like, okay, I have to wake up with a thought like, all is well in my life. All things are working out for my good. And the thing is, people who have children, they have spouses and households, so responsibilities and much responsibilities. You have to realize that people are dealing with the full consistency of those problems of dealing with your children's problems and not trying to take on their problems and letting them live their life and let them see God work things out for them. That's a whole different level of responsibility, and trying to intently train your mind on how to think on things that are good and lovely. For me, my outlet is working out. Like, I have to work out to keep from going crazy up in this mofo, because we're dealing with seasons of challenges. problems. You know, it may be the same problems, but it's challenging us in a new way. And when you're being challenged, and I just want to tell everybody, when you're being challenged with a problem, trust and believe. The reason why you're receiving some resistance and opposition, because something up on that other side of fear is there for you, working out for your good. I agree. Dealing with a circumstance and a season right now, you know. So it's like, I'm not saying this just to be, you know, sound cliche and all that. You know, it's just that I have to go through. I have to work with my faith, and I can't only have it when things are going. So I have to have faith when it's going. When it's challenging.
And anybody who has the same mentality as you, they totally understand that, you know, that's how you move. I think one of the biggest things, this is my saying, I'm working on some shirts, but the change is the challenge. That is my number one thing I like to say. But the change is the challenge. Period. For the action.
And it's promotion. It's promotion.
Absolutely, for yourself. Like, I mean, hello, how do you listen? You got to get tired of your own shit, sis. You gotta. Let me answer this question real quick. So it kind of goes along with what both of you ladies said. Can you convince somebody not to kill themselves? Is somebody's mind ultimately made up if they've attempted, said they was gonna do it, etc.? For me, the answer is no. You cannot keep someone from physically harming themselves. Again, as a mental health professional, my job is to provide you the tools and the insight on what it is you need to fix for your life. Can you provide them the tools to change their own mind? Absolutely. That's what we're talking about today.
Right.
Hey, what can I do for you? Just real quick, one of the mental health theories that I use is DBT. That's dialectical behavior therapy, or theory, excuse me. And one of the cheat sheets for that, that's what I call it, is AAA. That's awareness, acceptance, and action. That person has to be aware that, hey, I'm feeling weird. Maybe I would be better off not here. Maybe even attempted, etc. That's why you have behavioral health centers. You have therapists. You can only provide them, hey, you're worthy. You deserve to be here, etc. Whatever terminology it is you're using. But it's their job, which is the second one, is to accept, hey, something is off with me. I have to find it. Then after that, where the change is the challenge, is they have to resort to the action on their own. Does it suck? Do we sometimes feel guilty? Do we take on, you know, the code of, dang, I should have called her more? Yeah, hell yeah, we human. You're gonna do shit like that. But I don't feel you're not responsible for how somebody responds when it comes to taking their life. You didn't push the pill, you didn't pull the trigger.
Right.
You know. So you ultimately know, you know, you cannot keep somebody from suicide, but can you assist them along the way as understanding their worth? Absolutely, you can do that.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, me speaking from experience, right? I feel like no, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Because depression in adult space, I want to see what she said. Depression, it's like a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like the feeling is so deep in darkness where you just want to feel better. And the words that people can say, all the good words. They can say all of the great prophecies or the Bible hymns, and that's
very, very treacherous.
Yes, it will either send you deeper in a darker place, or it will just irritate you. Either one. When you in a depressed state, like people who haven't experienced that type of, you know, of darkness. Yeah, I feel like people are, you know, most of us are functional depressives, you know what I'm saying? But when people get close to suicide, it's a feeling that it takes a mental strength to want to, you know what I'm saying? To want to do it. Like my therapist, to be honest with you, she was like, we about to create a plan. What's that plan called, Stacey?
A treatment plan.
It was a treatment plan, but I basically had to tell her, I had to give her my family members' names.
Like I call mine a historian. Like, I'm getting background.
Yeah, so she was like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, she wanted me to go to the hospital, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking like, no, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna try to get out of this, you know what I'm saying? Even, she was like, I challenge you to go around your family. And people probably didn't even notice, you know what I'm saying? When I came around, I wasn't even myself, but I was trying, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get in a better state. It felt like shit. I ain't gonna lie, I still felt like shit, you know, but I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? But just to piggyback off of Jay says, deeper than leaving our mother and his sisters, but what I could have done better is not disregard the tone he had in his voice. And when I hung up, I remember the feeling of something wasn't right. And I can't imagine that, you know what I'm saying, even on the end of her brother, you know what I'm saying, on the end of your brother, I can't imagine how you feel, but I would just say that it was nothing you could do, because I feel like you get to a point to where you are so far gone that nothing seems like can get better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my bad. You feel me?
Alicia said, that snap them back to reality, find outlets for peace. Certain peaceful places and things can be a miracle for some. Others, unfortunately, have their minds made up already. It's on to create more safe places, more health facilities, accommodations, etc. It could definitely take a community in some instance. And she's right.
That's my cousin, yeah.
Right. You know, and I think the people on the side, like, everybody has dealt with depression in some sort, but some not to the extent of and you know, it's like you can't really hold them to hold them accountable because they haven't been to that level of depression. Thank God for that, but at the same time, that's why you try your best to reach out to where you're not overstepping their boundaries of making them seclude themselves even more. So you do what you think that you can do without overstepping. And you know, it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't in that instance.
But it's not a damn. I don't feel like it's a damn if you do or damn if you don't. I feel it's an acknowledgement, like, hey, this person is obviously going through something, and it's not like you said, Stacey. It's not. I'm not responsible for your feelings, but at least they know that I am here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm holding space for them. You know what I'm saying? I don't really feel like like you should be like, well, I tried or I did this. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's just a piggyback off a comment when it was like when people open up to other people. You know what I'm saying? They feel more, you know, willing to do when they open up to other people and not you. I feel like it's all about the energy that's being translated. You know what I'm saying? Like, how comfortable is this person making you feel, or how relatable is this person coming out? Is this person like just trying to spew words to you, like, oh, you're gonna get over depression, oh, things are gonna get better? Because at this moment, I'm not feeling like things are gonna get better. I don't want to hear, you know, affirmations. I don't want to hear Bible verses. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that my life is going to take a turn for the better, and I'm going to feel better. You know what I'm saying? So it comes to a point where I'm just going to hold space for them, and I'm not going to take it personally. And I know as hard as it gets, or hard as it is in our ego and in our personality, it's hard for you to disregard that. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
especially when you care about that.
There's all a person
that I said, I'm now under the assumption that April Glenn, who posts, has something to do with mental health.
I think she do.
Yeah, because one of the big parts is my next thing I was gonna say. Dang, April. No, seriously. Is just having a safety plan. Though that's, you know, I have a supervisor that I have to report to every Monday. That's the person I was talking to, or the person that I talk to every Monday. And when you have a client that is they're having suicidal ideation. They're thinking about it like, man, I could really just do this. I'm really not feeling it. Like today was a bad day. I'm trying to work through it. The job of the professional or even the friend, because you might not even have that professional because you haven't reached out yet, but from that friend is to provide a safety plan. Just to the young lady who I think it said Jay, the safety plan, it sounds like your case would be like, being aware. Another thing I say too is paying attention on purpose. If you're paying attention to a specific person, you will recognize that something's off with them. That's where you initiate a safety plan. That could be from okay, they sounded kind of weird. Let me just double back to, I do have something that I'm doing that I already dedicated to, but let me go pull up on them real quick. 3, whatever it is you're choosing to initiate to say, hey, let me make sure that this person is in a safe place. Because again, you can't be around somebody 24/7 with the chaos and things that we have going on in our lives. So you might have to, understand that that person has their mind made up. You might have to sit back and say, I did everything that I could do.
Right.
I actually had a friend, one of my friends, she knew that her friend was in a bad space initially. But another sign that I do want to point out, just in accordance with this story, is if a person that you've been around has been super depressed, they're just not feeling it, you're working them, what you feel like through is a day-to-day basis of just being happy and content in their lives. You need to pay attention to if they call you and they're just happy, go lucky, everything's fine. That's the final sign in my eyes. That's the, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm committing and I'm through with it.
Yeah.
It's a very noticeable sign. They're okay with, everything's fine, or girl, I'm good. I finally just decided that I'm going to be okay. Pay attention to context clues, because that could be the day that they decide to commit. This is what happened to my friend. Her friend called. She was just she said, I didn't realize until after the incident occurred that she was just too happy that in that moment.
Yeah. How did it click?
Content. Yeah. And that morning she found out that she had committed. And she said that, I had to tell myself, and of course we're affluent to the things that you should do, but we're not, removed from things that we go through too. I tell my clients every day, I learn from y'all too. Like, I could have handled this better, I could have handled that better. The humility comes twofold. So as you're helping somebody else out, you're taking in those same tools. I know, Tweety, you said, well, you made it obvious to me, I feel, Peaches, that this is something that you went through, but Tweety, you even said that you've experienced this. It's twofold. So while you helping somebody out, this is definitely on a string. So as we help us out in our community and people are listening and they're growing and they're taking in all the tools that you can absorb from mental health awareness, you're helping somebody else out while you're helping yourself. It's going to consistently be like that if you keep the ball going.
Yeah. Right. And I do believe that you're called to certain people. You're not for everybody. Everybody won't hear what you have to say. But when you're called to that right person, they will receive what you have to say, even if it's a Bible verse. Maybe, you can say one thing and it will edify them to make it another day. And, you're not called to everybody. You're called to certain people, and I believe in that, is my walk as just like, even though I may be going through what I'm going through or having my seasons, and people may not know what I'm dealing with because I don't believe in discussing the problem, because it makes you focus more on it. And my thing is like, I'm here to encourage you, and that makes my day when I feel like I have encouraged you to make it another day. And that's just where I'm coming from in that regard.
Had to get that in. Another big focus on that is, this is where I'm coming in. I'm not a confrontational counselor, but when I have built a rapport with my client and I feel like I can say what I need to say to them to get them right and get them better, what I'm going to say to you is, we have to stop that notion of, let's not talk about the problem. You have to put, whenever the first line on the sheet of paper is presenting problem, Tell me what the hell is wrong with you, what's going on, why,
Yes.
what you think,
Yes.
etc. But my
Yes.
job, and I need you have to come to me first. You have to reach out. People a lot of times are taking on the responsibility of others, and that's not your job. That person is feeling how they feel, have to reach out first. Once you reach out to whomever it is, you have to understand that now my job is to say, okay, what can we do to fix this as far as solution focus? I don't give you advice. I don't tell you what to do. What I say is, hey, so let me ask you questions to where you can say, how can I answer this on my own? How can I fix this by myself? And what I mean by that is by yourself. Again, I know I revert to this a lot. I'm not responsible for how you feel. So when I say that, what I mean is understand that my job is to help you answer your own questions aloud.
Yeah. And my thing is what I was saying about not discussing the problem, meaning not discussing it over and over and over and over again. Yes, you will want to vent to somebody, about the problem, but when you're going to the next person about the problem and the next person about the problem, you're kind of rehearsing it. Yes, I do believe in discussing the problem at hand, but when you're rehearsing the problem, it creates an atmosphere of it not being able to be solved.
Right.
It does continue the lower vibration, you know what I'm saying? But Stacey, we are coming up on 57 minutes. I want you to tell people, the services that you provide and the way that they can contact you, your social medias or whatever.
All right. So as of right now, I work under a company. I'm working towards when I'm totally complete with my counseling hours. I work with Amazing Counseling and Rehabilitation Services. This is in DeSoto, Texas. Again, that's Amazing Counseling and Rehabilitation Services. You can reach me at 940-642-3822. I have my mental health license, a master's of science in licensed professional counseling, and I specialize in trauma and crisis. My social media is Stacey Staten on Facebook and Stacey on Instagram, preferably Facebook. Just how you see it on the screen, screenshot that thing. Y'all know how that go. We ain't gonna keep on saying the same thing. Yeah, screenshot that, reach out. At the moment, I just want to see us succeed. So everything is pro bono. I'm learning from my people. Yes, we getting there. We trying to go to a higher mechanism, but we need more of us to help us. So I'm here for
Hell yeah.
And I pray blessings for you in your endeavor, and I pray that multiple people are led to you and they're resolved in whatever issues that they're going through.
Thank y'all for tuning in. This was a serious episode.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like we just just giving y'all just a little hindsight of why we took a break, and
it wasn't in vain. It was just not the least people on.
Yeah,
because we being involved, not involved, but hell.
We like that y'all like listen to our motherfucking ass. I like that. You know what I'm saying? So this was like, mental health, healthy mental health is important. You know what I'm saying? And don't take it for granted, even if you are the person in the shit. I would just say, I know you don't sometimes have the strength to tell people, but you may have a cousin, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nisha, that's my, you know what I'm saying? You may have a cousin, you may have a friend that you feel comfortable speaking with. As long as you're speaking with somebody and getting that shit off your chest, and also taking a step to be proactive. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, working out, I have to. You know what I'm saying? Not dwelling or not allowing myself to get caught up in those lower vibrational thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That's another one. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to be proactive if you really want to stay here. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you want to stay here, but you really have to be proactive with yourself and have mental strength, because these thoughts ain't real, y'all. These motherfucking thoughts that go in and out your head, it really ain't real.
You know what I'm saying? You have the power to change that shit. And it takes a wanting to. So I say all my love and light, you know what I'm saying? And just giving y'all, you know, the real or what the fuck happened. You know, a bitch got a double bicep, you heard me, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? But love and light to y'all. But for y'all that's watching the show, we got two monsters. So it's like if I'm looking here, I'm not cockeyed, okay? Oh, yeah. I was trying to look in the camera and also look at the monitor. But look at the monitor, it looked like I'm dang on cockeyed. I'm not dang on cockeyed, okay? But I just want to leave y'all with a prayer. Yeah, I like to cover y'all with prayer because y'all have been tuning to us and bless y'all. To whoever believe, but I just know that in these days it's about to be a big shift. Good things are coming our way. No matter what you're facing, it's always tomorrow. You get to live another day. You have divine health in your body. You have everything that you need. You have provision. I thank you. You know, I'm about to say I thank you, Father, but you have family around you. You know, your children are alive. You're able to get up and walk up with your own legs and limbs and things like that. And I just want to pray for y'all if y'all don't mind. And Father, in the name of Lord Jesus Christ, I thank you for everybody under the sound of my voice. I thank you that they have health in their body. I thank you for their children. I thank you for their families. I thank you for their homes. I thank you that they have transportation, Father God. I thank you, Lord, that they have a belief system. And Lord, in the name of Jesus, I pray, Father God, that anything that's concerning them, that you perfected in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. And I thank you, Lord, that when they wake up in the morning, Father God, they'll be refreshed in their right mind, Father God, encouraged to take on this day, Lord, and I bind every demonic attack, snare, and assignment of the enemy right now in the name of Lord Jesus Christ, and I declare that they will have a wonderful and good day. I thank y'all in Jesus' name, my friend. I thank y'all for tuning in. And
thank you, Stacey. Thank you for joining us
so much.
And we got something for y'all next week. I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. That's all I'm gonna say. We're gonna ruffle some feathers. I'm not gonna tell y'all who I'm gonna have on the show. I'm not gonna tell y'all what we're gonna be talking about.
If y'all want to promote y'all business,
Yeah.
just DM us.
Yeah.
We're about promoting not only black business, but small businesses who want to become large businesses. And guess what? I want to pray over your businesses, okay? But I thank y'all so much for tuning into us. And as we always say,
Love and light.
Jesus is Lord.